Manchester City beats you, Barcelona beats you. Well, it's not uncommon. A few people seem to struggle with this. In fact, today's save is coming to us all the way from Norway. Right, we've got a club that has managed to become a Champions League contender, but they need to get that 5% right in order for them to become consistently the top side in Europe. Yes, from Norway. My name is Daljit. Welcome to the show. This is the channel where I do hints, tips, guides on the game Football Manager. You will also find me streaming 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on another channel. You can check out the links below. If you have any questions, you can always pop in. You can always bring your tactics in on Wednesday. When I do bring your tactics, that's when I try to offer you different insights into how a tactic can play. We do spend quite a fair bit of time on that as well. And once again, I want to thank you for your support. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed today's show. Game Changer is a show where I pop into your saves, and today's episode is very interesting because it's actually from FM20. Now, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with FM21? The principles are the same. Very little of the game has changed between 20 to 21. A lot of the approaches that we take are going to be the same. Tactically, it's not as if the tactics in FM20 don't work in 21. They still do. Certain things might have changed a bit here and there, but the principles are still the same. So what we're going to do today is we're going to hop on all the way down to Norway. Yes, we've got this club called Esbjerg Fronde Boldklubber. Okay, right. I hope I pronounced that correctly. We've got a manager who's done really well. He's managed to take this club and they've been winning domestically for quite a while now. They've done very, very well. In terms of competitions, they've also won the Champions League twice, in 2032 and in 2033. That's back to back. Now, that's impressive. Now, first up, the achievement itself here of getting a club from Norway all the way to the top has been impressive. However, our friend, our manager here, he wants to be Chigo is his name. He wants to be all dominating. He wants to beat everybody. But from what I can tell, he's done actually quite well. Beaten Juventus in extra time 2-1. Well, occasionally, yes, he has struggled. Like here against Inter, he lost 1-0. And then this season has been a bit more interesting. He lost to Liverpool 3-2 away from home. And then, well, he's had some interesting results. He managed to beat Liverpool away from home 3-1. He lost to them at home 3-2 rather. And Monaco, he's drawn 1-1. In the Champions League Group A, he finished second behind Liverpool, losing 1 match and drawing 3. He wants to just improve his system, right? So that's going to be the objective of today's show. We're going to look at his tactic, very much like what I do on Bring Your Tactics, and we're going to try and see whether there are certain things that he can improve. And our manager, Chigo, has really offered me a challenge in this week's episode of Game Changer. He's left me to handle Chelsea all on my own in the next match. We need to approach this very methodically so that we don't waste time. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to analyze your team very quickly. That's the second thing we're going to do is take a look at your tactics and identify whether within the tactic itself you've got a plan A, plan B, plan C. And then finally, we're going to also look at your set pieces, because set pieces, unfortunately, a lot of people ignore them. There's only about a handful of people who actually play with set pieces, and they spend a lot of time crafting these set pieces. And this can be a huge game changer for a lot of people. And I recommend people start paying more attention to set pieces. Finally, we're going to take a look at players in your squad that need to be considered as replaceable. We're trying to be very polite here because some of these players shouldn't be playing anymore. Let's start with your formation first. Okay, you've been using a 4-3-3 for all your matches. Good. It's consistent. You're staying on one pass line. There's nothing wrong with this. What you have to understand is the same formation can play in so many ways. You can change roles and duties around. You can change your team instructions around. You can turn a 4-3-3 into a camping system, or you can turn it into a counter-attacking system, all from the use of your team instructions and a tweak to roles and duties. the first thing we want to identify are the key positions in our tactic. We've got the DM. This is going to be a key position. The Mezzala on attack, because he's going to be very creative. He's like going to be playing like a number 10. He's going to have to punch through and try and create opportunities for other players. He's going to be our number 8, and this is going to be our number 6. So this is pretty much like a box-to-box player, or he's going to be trying to keep the link between offense and defense. And here we've got a holding player who's going to be protecting our backline. This player is extremely important. Let's see, based on team report, whether we have enough players with the right kind of current ability to play in this position. So what we want to do is we want to go into team report, choose role suitability, formation, use the custom roles option, and then we've got our Mats Hummels, who's your assistant manager. Make sure that the assistant manager has got very good player ability judging attributes for you to help you out. Now this is really easy because it'll just tell you who are the best players here, and you can see the DM position. We have a certain situation. Now none of these players are very solid in this position, right? So we've got other players where we've got enough cover in all your positions, right? This compares players within your own squad and tells you very quickly, in a really easy way, whether you have enough cover. That's a really easy way for you to find out if you have enough cover in your team. Now, the position we identified being an issue was this position. Now, if I'm looking at this player, his positioning is only 13. Now, it's not bad, but not Champions League quality. But he can still play. He can still do a very good job in this position, but we have to think of the future. If he gets injured, who steps in? Now, we've got other players here. This guy is 25 years old. His technique is a bit poor. He plays short, simple passes, plays no through ball, stays back all the time. So, well, when he plays as a DM, he doesn't give us any other thing except he's just going to play like a simple old anchor man. He's not going to run very far away, and he's probably better suited as a defender. Then we have other players here as well. Then we have a youngster called Eric Ibsen. Now, Eric Ibsen has got a lot of potential, and I would probably start playing him a lot more, especially in domestic games, getting him ready for the Champions League. He is going to be the natural replacement for the DM position. So this is a player that should be playing in a lot of your games. The second position we want to identify is the Mezzala. The Mezzala is very important in a 4-3-3, or basically the CM on attack here is very important. When we play a Mezzala, we're really looking for a player that has flair, that has the ability to unlock sides. Now, this player's flair is only 9. It means that in the long run, we've got to improve his training. So if we go to training and development, don't train him as a roaming playmaker because it does not improve flair. Start training him as a Mezzala on attack, and flair will start improving. This is something that you want to leave him on if you want to play him as a Mezzala. Flair is also a very useful attribute for any kind of a player who needs to unlock stubborn defenses, and this becomes very handy in the long run. Finally, in a 4-3-3, we have to also consider these positions and the flanks. The flanks are the areas where you're going to be generating loads of assists from. So let's start with the inverted wingback. An inverted wingback needs good decision making, and he needs good acceleration. You've got the perfect inverted wingback in this position. There's nothing to worry about. He's 25 years old, so all you got to worry about is the future and finding a replacement for him. Then on the left flank, we've got Bologna. We have to worry about poor technique for defenders, because this means that the chances of pulling a bad tackle, or just not doing their work well, is going to be an issue. So when we go to training, making sure that technique is something that he's working on. So you've done it on crossing. Crossing does improve technique, so that's good. Finally, we've got our inside forwards. Inside forwards generally need to have loads of acceleration, the ability to dribble, good agility and balance so that they stay on their feet, passing, vision, and of course finishing and composure. He definitely has this in tons, right? So we have no issue on the flank. And then on the right flank, you typically want somebody playing who's good with the left and the right foot, because this will give you loads of options here. When an inverted wingback goes inside, he's going to go out. The winger is going to go out and deliver crosses. If he has a strong left foot, he's going to come inside and he's going to be like an inside forward. When the inverted wingback decides to go overlapping, he becomes like another striker. But let's not make the tactic too complicated in that regard. And just leave him as a winger. If you want to improve his other foot, then your general training needs to include technique. So whenever you have technique being worked on, a player can improve his other foot if, for example, you start using roles and duties that ensure that he ends up cutting inside. So those are things like when you use an inverted wing back with the overlap or the underlap, and this is going to happen. So over time, his other foot will start to improve, and it's already improved fairly strong, very strong. So he can occasionally cut inside and start scoring goals. It's something you might even want to consider as developing traits. So you can ask him to cut inside and try and score goals, and it gives you other options. The versatility of your striker will give you plenty of options in your tactics. So when we're looking at our strikers here, if strikers have loads of acceleration, we can play them as advanced forwards. Yeah. So our advanced forward here can play plenty of roles. He can play as an advanced forward, a deep line forward, which gives us plenty of options. We can use him to drop deep, hold on to the ball, and bring others into play against stubborn defenses. Or we can use him as an out-and-out advanced forward against teams that we want to play the low block against. So we've got so many options within our tactic because of this one striker. We're not going to jump into tactics straight away. We're going to save that till after we've played our match against Chelsea. Then I will share with you different ways you can set up your 4-3-3 against 4 different kinds of opposition. Because you have to remember, you don't need to play exactly the same tactic for every single match. Changing small little roles and duties here will give you plenty of options. When I look at your set pieces, I think your set pieces look pretty decent. We've got everything set up the way I would set it up. Now let's just see why he's here. He's got jumping range of 18 and strength of 13. I much rather put him into this position. At least then he helps you defend that area a bit more effective. You got Mark Tall here and this. I mean, the alternative is to do it like this. AMR, right? Mark Tall. Or you can set it up like this, right? Then it's perfectly okay. Now, in terms of attacking, I like your attacking routines. They're very well thought out. I would actually do it this way. I would put the 2 tall players here. Because if you look at the set pieces themselves, there's no option in the game to mark the striker, right? It's only got mark tall players. That's it. Or mark near post, mark far post. So if you set it up like that, you've got 2 players playing as a decoy to drag the mark tall to this side, and then you've got a striker free to attack. It's a perfectly good set piece routine. Of course, there are other ways, there are other small little ones that you can do. You can even create one and say, let's do it mixed, right? So something like this. So you can set it up here and you go mix and try this out in your domestic games to see how this plays out. Because if you have a good long shot, this guy is useless at long shot. So I would probably just put him here while marking the keeper, giving the keeper issues as to when he tries to claim the ball. And then we've got a player here lurking at the edge of the area who's got very good long shots. So now we can actually play mixed, or you can even play it on short. If he's got a good right foot, he can whip it in as well. But this requires you to try this out during your regular season before tossing it to the Champions League. But this is probably my favorite routine, where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all covered. This is the way I set it up. I usually put two of my defenders in one post and then leave another one to challenge at the far post, or you can do it like this, right? You're lurking near the far post, because this, if you do it like this, then when he wins the header, he gets a knockdown and he tries to score a goal. So there are plenty of ways to set up set pieces. This is one way, and of course there are other ways as well. There's no wrong or right, but generally the way to do this is to put 2 at the near post and send a delivery to the far post. What you've done is correct. I wouldn't change it. But if you're thinking on trying other options, you can do them in your own regular season as well. When we look at set pieces, they look fine. Tactically, you look okay. There's only one area in the game that we have an issue with, right? And actually, it's got to do with some of the bravery of some of your players. Here we've got Ever Leon. He's not bad as a holding player. It's raining heavily, so he's probably going to hear a lot of noise. Here we've got a player who can play as a playmaker. However, he's got low bravery. Now, when a player has low bravery, we have issues. These issues include being limited in our options, because we won't be able to play with low blocks, because we need these players to put in tackles, and they're not going to do that if they've got no bravery. So we are kind of forced into a situation where we've got to go out there and get ourselves better players who can give us more options, because when you have players with bravery, you get options in your setup. When we're playing Football Manager, reputation plays a big part. You could have all the right attributes, but their club has a bigger reputation than you. chances are you're still going to struggle. So we're going to make sure that we just tweak this slightly. There's a lot of tweaking going on. So what I've done is I've created a slightly different variation of this tactic, right? So we got a Mezzala attacking this pocket of space. He's going to be working with a winger. So this guy could be an inside forward on attack. So we'll just have this players hopefully creating some chances for us. The only problem right now is I don't want to play with a inverted wing back here. We're just going to play with this role is just going to be, I'm going to change this, keep it simple. We're just going to play with a wing back. Mezzala going this way. We don't want too much complication on this side of the pitch. Then we'll have a wing back inside forward. We're playing against Chelsea. We're going to try and use these players to create chances for ourselves. We're going to be playing with a standard line engagement and a high defensive line. And what we're going to do is, because Chelsea is Chelsea, a bigger club, you can use your existing tactic against all the domestic sides. But what we want to do is we want to keep the ball a lot more effectively, right? So we're keeping our width narrow so that the players aren't too far apart. Then shorter passing and tempo. In FM20, focus play, just don't use it, right? I don't use focus play in FM20. Then we got a team selection and we're off. Because focus play in FM20 and focus play in FM21 are entirely different. Okay, now here we go. Silva, Brad Book. Okay, Chelsea are playing with the inverted wing back on this side of the pitch. So this inside forward could have a lot of love, right? So he's going to have a lot of space. As you can see, now they have possession of the ball. He goes in, right? This is an inverted wing back. So this is something that we want to take advantage of. We can take advantage of this with an inside forward or a wing on attack. The other thing I want to do is your set pieces, right? Okay, we're going to be more possession centric. Corners, attacking. What we're going to do is all our set pieces are going to be short. Okay, we're going to tell him to be short here. And here we're going to bring this player out. On the left side, I'll just get, he's got good long shots. So this guy's got, actually has long shots. No, he doesn't have long shots. Okay, so we'll just stick him here. We'll get this guy to stay on the periphery of the box. We won't tell him to get into the box. We'll tell him instead to go, give the keeper some attention. We'll have two defenders here. We'll tell him to play it short. We're just going to keep things relatively simple. Okay, long shots here. He's got 9, so he won't do. So we'll put him here. So we're going to tweak every small little thing and make sure that everything is perfect. Okay, so we confirm changes and off we go. And then when we do get set pieces, we make them count. And Gil gets the ball immediately. We don't want to play out a defense, right? Because we want the ball to get up the pitch quickly. Right? If we play out a defense, we kind of like, we might play into their hands. We can suss teams out. We play our defense, build the play up. But sometimes it pays just to get the ball up the pitch really quickly. A broker is inside the box, shoots. Well, the inverted wingback is having a few issues. We got another free kick in a dangerous position. Test the keeper again. 20 minutes in is we are just dominating at the moment. Yep, this is good. Avalion out to Lucebro, Bologna. We've kept possession of the ball after a corner, which is something they're aiming to do against all these better sides. Bologna, Salama shoots again. The keeper, we denied a great goal. Here we got another short corner routine. Why isn't he taking it short? That's a good question. Let's go to our set pieces. This can happen sometimes, corners. Okay, we're going to define all our corner kick takers, right? So change corner kick taker, right? MCR, MCL is all here. Yeah, so it's all set up anyway. MCR, MCL, yeah, it's all set up. It must be FM20. Okay, sometimes in FM20, players don't listen to you. Not so good. We've had more shots than Chelsea. We don't play our defense we don't play our defense the way teams expect us to play our defense, and it's the opening goal. Yahoo! We feel like cheats. Okay, good kick out, takes it down really well. Then through there, and we score. The start we score. Am I play our defense? No, we're not. Right, we're not playing our defense. But keeper has been told to take short kicks, so this is very sneaky. So the ball doesn't work up the pitch, right? You have to pass the ball. It's that one-touch football all the way to a shot on target. Right? So every time they attack us and we get, unfortunately for us, we conceded a goal. We're doing all the best we can here against Chelsea. Okay, we gotta do a shout and demand more from our boys. They played well, but unfortunately for us, Chelsea have upped the ante. Stoffer, we got a counter going. Yep. Really good striker as well. The ball gets into the box. It's a penalty. I'm laughing my head off. Noriega scored his boy. Yeah, and he buries it. It's 2-1 now. Okay. So I'm not making too many changes. We're keeping it really simple for all these big clubs that we have to play against. Right. So we got a 2-1 lead. Okay. What we can do after we've taken the lead is work on getting our possession, right? So we're doing okay. We're not wasting too much time. We're forcing them to defend most of the time. Okay, we got another chance, right? Another goal kick, or they have a goal kick rather. Martinez up to Abdul Hamid. Okay, what else can we do? We can do something else, and that includes getting our wingers to be a lot more defensive, tracking the targets inside the box. But it will hurt our counter-attacking side. I'm gonna make it harder for them. Okay, so if he marks the fullback, he'll be out of position. But if he marks the winger, it leaves our fullbacks free, right? So we mark the winger, and then he will make sure that we will tell him to sit narrow. We'll tell the team to sit narrow. So we got this guy marking, so he is gonna help us defend. This player here will be released from marking tighter. Right, he won't be tracking. So we come to our tactic, we immediately go narrow. Right, and then our passing is going to be standard. We're going to use a bit of the width. We're also going to regroup now when we have the ball, and then we're going to hit one over the top. Hopefully that works. Okay. In possession, underlap right. The underlap is on this wing back. We're going to remove the underlap. Okay. We don't need to underlap right now because it's just going to cause us to be a bit too aggressive in transition. Here, we got wing back. We've gone really, we've limited the use of TIs here. So we're just going to hit teams on the break. Okay, defend narrower and center line engagement. Okay, done. Ruben Gill gets a yellow card. We're just going to hold on for the 2-1. Okay, we've got one player on an injury. That's one of our players. Abrogard with the ball takes a shot. We'll just have to try and see whether he's a inside forward. Okay, so we're gonna have to substitute him as well. He is injured. So do we have another player that can play? Yeah, we got, as long as this player has pace, he's gonna put a lot of pressure on them. We've got this player 17-18. Okay, so we're gonna ask him to come on. Done favors. Everybody's getting injured now. All right, now making a sub. Nikolai Olsen. We're gonna bring Eric Ibsen on for our DM, and that's it. We've been able to beat that team called Chelsea. Not too bad. We created more clear-cut chances than them. So the idea here is to make sure that we do the simple things. And like when it comes to tactics against bigger sides, you can use your existing tactic, but I much prefer to use this. And as you can see, things change as the match progresses. This underlap instruction, while it's great, right, it pushes this player, it increases the mentality of this player, reduces the mentality of this player. This player can easily become an inverted winger on support, and then what they end up doing is you got a situation where on this flank, with the wingback overlapping, inverted winger dropping, he might look for the inside forward for goal scoring opportunities. So these are options that you can take tactically with your team against some of the bigger sides. And then as you saw from the little game that we just played, there are plenty of options that you can employ during a game just to suss things out, control the match a bit more effectively. That's going to be the difference. it's pretty challenging when you're an underdog, right? I mean, here I still consider this team an underdog because in terms of reputation, you're not one of the best in the land. But there are small little things in the game that are gonna help you get one over the top of sides like Chelsea. Things like your set pieces, understanding which positions your players can play in, what they bring to the table. We knew that a low block wasn't exactly going to work for us. So we took that Kasim, who was playing as a roaming playmaker, he would have needed to tackle, but because of his low bravery, that was going to be a liability. We kind of asked him to play as a Mazala, even though he has got low flair. However, it kind of worked. And then small little tricks like understanding how play out a defense can hamper a counter-attacking tactic. So what we did was we expected Chelsea to be pressing us high up the pitch, right? So all we did was play short, let them come up the pitch, and we didn't play out a defense. We scored a brilliant goal just by passing the ball up the pitch. And these are small things that you can do. And don't forget your set pieces as well, because set pieces can be very an effective tool. And I am a strong advocate, even in FM21, of playing short corner routines against top sides because you want to keep the ball. Because when you play a corner, right, and the defenders win the header, if the ball lands onto their midfielders and they run out, sometimes you get Kylian Mbappe running at you. And if you get Kylian Mbappe running at you, nothing is going to stop him from scoring a goal, especially in FM20. So I hope today's video helped you out. And this was an episode of Game Changer. If you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. Once again, I want to thank you for your support. You guys are fantastic. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.